Hi, in today's video, let's explore what does it mean to be assertive, what does it mean to have an assertive communication style. Are you assertive? Are you not? Maybe are you passive aggressive or are you aggressive? What does this mean and how you can improve as an assertive communicator, and even more, how to do it as a global speaker. I'm an international communication coach, and this is a channel we're gonna learn all the psychology coaching based tips to improve in your English communication skills. Because now that English is lingua franca, many professionals like you need to work in English and you're very lost because you have been putting all the effort and energy on the dimension of the language when actually that's the 10% of the impact of your communication, and the whole 90% that really impacts in how you communicate, it's not really the language piece. And remember, you can acquire and improve your vocabulary. That's great. That's an important aspect of this. But there are so many other dimensions and things that you have to take into account to improve in the area of confidence when you are a global speaker. Global speakers, we are those of us who use English as a lingua franca, as communicators in our jobs. And many of us have leadership positions where we really need to tell others how we want to be treated. This is the foundation of assertiveness. Maybe you thought that you were being direct or aggressive, but you're actually being assertive, maybe not. So let's start to understand a little better what does it mean to be an assertive communicator, to be passive or passive aggressive. Aggressive communication style. What is really behind any of these communication styles is our vision of the world, is our mindset. The mindset is the beliefs that we have and how we see the world around us, and then how we relate with the world around us. So for example, if we see the world as a very threatening place, a place that we are scared of, and that we have to survive and that we have to fight for survival, that it's very likely that comes into an aggressive personality style. You just have to think of people like Donald Trump or Kanye West. These are the two that come to mind in my case whenever I have to think of aggressive communication style. Because for this type of personalities, everything centers around their needs and their wants without any regards of the other person's needs or wants. So it's very common in narcissistic personalities, people that they are only thinking about their needs. So in this kind of communication style, normally you have very you statements like, you're doing this wrong, you don't know what you mean. It's always about blaming the other person. It's not taking responsibility at all about your actions and your behaviors. The equation of an aggressive communicator will go, I win and you lose. And that is what they manifest in the way they communicate. The passive-aggressive communication style, for this type of personalities, your views and your needs, they don't really matter. They are personalities that are not looking into their feelings or what they really need. And the way they communicate, it's always with a lot of justifications, with a lot of blaming. So you're basically blaming the circumstances around you or other people, and it's not really about ownership or taking responsibility of your own behaviors and feelings. So it's a little bit more like manipulative, because it's like you're not owning what is the behavior, and you're basically making it a little bit a statement that is like, maybe I go, maybe I try. It's a lot of not showing preference and a lot of self-doubt. And it tends to lead to people that are very frustrated and resentful because they don't get really what they want in the end, because they don't really feel they matter. Here we find all the people pleasers, people that really have a very hard difficulty to say no. And this is because we are basically avoiding our own fears, want to face the way it feels, to feel rejected, or we try to avoid conflict at all costs, and the result is that you're basically saying yes to everything. You're never really making people understand what you need, how they should treat you, so they can basically do whatever they want with you. You're not setting boundaries for the people around you through your communication style. Very rarely you're gonna get what you want with this communication style that goes into passive aggressive, and there's a lot of manipulative kind of communication also. Assertiveness. And in assertiveness, it's really very different from the other styles of communication, either passive or aggressive. With assertiveness, we're actually coming from a mindset or a point of view where we matter, our needs and wants matter, and the fact that we have desires, needs, or wants doesn't mean that the other person loses. We can state our wants, tell other people how we want to be treated without losing respect for anybody, and we can do it respectfully and kindly. That is the key in assertiveness. We are also taking into consideration the other party's perspectives. There are a lot of opening dialogue. We tend to use a lot of when, what, where, in order to create this dialogue where we are open to see the other person's perspectives and ideas, and also we negotiate. We're willing to negotiate and to be open to make concessions, and this is a win-win situation. So as you can see, there is kind of this assertive formula that it always goes with these I statements, because in an assertive formula, it's about taking ownership. You take responsibility about your own behaviors and your own actions, how this is making you feel, so that you can go into a solution in that moment of communication. So example of this assertive formula, you can say, I feel worried whenever you are interrupting me, because it makes me feel that you don't care about what I have to say. So please listen more actively whenever we have a conversation. What do you think? So then I invite the other person to give me her perspective. In an assertive communication style, we focus on the facts instead of focusing on the opinions or assumptions. Always focusing on the solution, how this can be a win-win situation, how I can advance into a solution. So I'm more direct. And that's also the powerful 3 T's of power communication that has to do with clarity. So I'm being clear, I'm being brief, I'm being direct. Confidence, my ability to believe that I can handle this situation. And then control. With control, I mean, that I manage my emotions, that I'm self-regulated, I'm very grounded and present whenever I have a communication situation, so that I can distinguish between my emotions and yours, not making the projections, not blaming others, but I'm focusing on my way and the way I take in things, and I own everything about it. I'd like to give you some examples so that you can see how that manifests in communication, in global communication scenarios. So one communicator you should have in mind for assertiveness is Oprah, or Michelle Obama, Barack Obama.
Or the book sales, the work is still from within. That's the thing, it's the voices in my head. It's not y'all. It's me, it's me changing the playbook, the recording in my head that has been played over and over again. And that's what a lot of women, that's why I take what children hear from me. I take that very seriously, because my voice becomes the part, that the recording in their head.
So what could that voice possibly be saying to you at this point that brings self-doubt?
It's always, are you working hard enough? Is there, are you using this platform for a good purpose? Are you focused on what other people need? Are you getting outside of your own ego? That's, we're constantly checking that with the work that we're doing. I mean, I just spent a year on a book tour talking about me, and it feels like that's enough. Now let's talk about somebody else's story. Now, where are these girls who are not going to school? Because you know what, in the end, that's why I'm here. I'm not here to talk about my story or to talk about my journey. I'm here to shine a light on other young women.
And that's your big work ahead.
That's the big, I feel, that's the work that's...
Communicators, they are always stating what they want, what they need, how they want to be treated. They are really confident, they are really grounded, they are direct in the way they communicate. They are not using a lot of explanations or justifications about things. That will go more in a passive-aggressive. So for passive-aggressive, some speakers that come to mind are Keanu Reeves, that I love Keanu Reeves, but he kind of goes in a passive-aggressive communicator style sometimes in some interviews. When he is not really direct, he goes a little bit into rambling or a lot of self-doubt, being very reserved about certain things. And for example, another example is Kristen Stewart, kind of goes a little more into this passive-aggressive communication style. And aggressive communication styles, we can mention, of course, Donald Trump. I mean, I just have to think of narcissistic personalities, and narcissistic personalities have this communication style, so you just...
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that.
And why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep...
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign...
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
Well, that's true.
But
they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual, you know, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have...
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation? Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible.
Anyways, they are very self-absorbed, focused on themselves. They're not really making any kind of regard into how other people can think, or they are not respectful. Even the way of like communicating, they are gelling sometimes.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
A movie I really like to give you as an example of how we can evolve into the different communication styles is Whiplash. I remember the time I watched this movie, really liked the movie, and it's about a drum player that really wants to improve his skills, and he goes into mentorship with this mentor that is very aggressive and abusive.
Today, people, Neiman, 19 years old, isn't he cute? Parker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early. Now, this one really upsets me. We have an out-of-tune player here. Okay, maybe a bug flew in my ear. There's no fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at? Then why the fuck didn't you say so? I've carried your fat ass for too long, Mets. I'm not gonna have you cost us a competition because your mind's on a fucking Happy Meal instead of on pitch. Get the fuck out!
I'm here for a reason.
Got Buddy Rich here. Not quite my tempo. You're rushing. Here we go. Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go. Dragging just a hair. Rushing. Dragging.
Of the movie, he starts from a very assertive place. Like, I really like to, the drums, and I want to learn how to play the drums, and I really like the way that you do it, and I would love to be mentored by you. So it's very assertive about his passion for this craft and that he wants, and he's very willing to improve. But that assertiveness, as the mentorship starts, totally transforms.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman? Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, was I rushing or was I dragging?
Oh, no.
Count again.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference. If you deliberately sabotage my band, I will fuck you like a pig. Now, are you a rusher, or are you a dragger, or are you going to be on my fucking time?
I'm going to be on your time.
Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't know they allowed retards into Schaefer. Am I to understand that you cannot read tempo? Can you even fucking read music? Fucking a cappella group? Play the goddamn kit! Are you one of those single tier people? Do I look like a double fucking rainbow to you? You must be upset. Are you upset? No. You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a fucking 9-year-old girl. So for the final father-fucking time, say it louder! I'm upset!
Becomes more passive because of the abusive behavior of the instructor. He is really abusive, yelling, lacking respect, being manipulative. So you can totally notice that in the communication style that he uses. There is a totally lack and disregard of the other person's emotions. There is lack of empathy, and that can show. So it's very important you understand this whenever you are receiving feedback by a mentor, an instructor, a coach, or a teacher. You're teaching others how to treat you. It's on you, and you can control that. You cannot control other people, how other people respond to you, but you can control how you want to be treated.
It's my part, and I decide who to lend it to. Usually it's somebody that has fucking sticks.
No, I did it. Look, you can't fucking do this, kid. Yeah.
When did you become a fucking expert on what I can or cannot do, you fucking weepy willow shit sack?
I earned that part.
You never earned anything. God, you are a self-righteous prick.
Yo, fuck off, Johnny Utah. Turn my pages, bitch.
I can cut you any fucking time I want.
You would have cut me by now.
Try me, you fucking weasel. One fucking mistake. One. I will drum your ass back to Nassau where you can turn pages until you graduate or fucking drop out. By the time you're done at Schaefer, you're gonna make Daddy look like a fucking success story. Got it? Or we can let Johnny Utah play the part. You choose.
That's my part. I'll be on your stage.
It's very important that you stand up for yourself and that you say, this is how I want to be treated, even more in a communication situation where you're doing it in your second language, that I know is very challenging, but I assure you, you can totally own this. It starts from the mindset, from how you see the world as a place that is inviting for you, that is a place to explore and to learn and to grow. That should be the way you improve this skill. Very fun, very enjoyable, and this is what I want for all of us as global speakers. So in the case, for example, of whiplash, reminds me of here in Spain, though this is changing and there are many exceptions to this, but our education system was very based on perfectionism, a lot of comparison, and many teachers, without they even knowing, not because of the teachers many times, but because of the system. The system on its own is a little abusive. It has this communication style. There's a lot of criticism, there is a lot of corrections, there's a lot of making you think that, a lot of self-doubt about yourself as a communicator, like, I'm making this mistake, I'm pronouncing this wrong, I cannot make any mistake, I have to be perfect, having as a goal, having an advanced fluency instead of focusing on you as a communicator, how your message is coming across and being received. So I hope that learning more about communication styles and how to be assertive, you notice, it's not about the language, it's actually about the mindset, it's about the way you see the world, the way you are going to tell other people how you want to be treated, how they should treat you through communication, using this kind of assertive formula, reminding the 3 C's of powerful communication: confident, control, and clear.
What the fuck?
Shit! I'll fucking kill you! Get off me!
Off me!
Fuck off! Fuck you! Fuck you, Fletcher! Fuck you! Get off! Fuck! Piece of shit!
Focus on your message, and remember, you are an international communicator. You deserve to be in that room. You deserve to speak up for yourself, to own your message, to tell people how you want to be treated in an international communication setting. You're part of the conversation, and channel, if you're watching this video, that means that you are just about to shift that perspective, that mindset. from a place of I am not allowed to be in this room and speak up and be treated with respect, to one of yes, I allow myself being here in this room, in this international conversation, in this international lifestyle, and I allow myself this experience of growth, of learning, where mistakes are invited, where mistakes are learning opportunities. And I'm gonna show people how I wanna be treated. I'm gonna set the boundaries, because you're not being aggressive, you're being assertive, and we all own us that. You don't have power over how other people respond, but you have power how you respond and how you can tell others how you want to be treated. That's the key of assertive communication style. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember to leave in the comments anything that comes to mind regarding these different communication styles. And if you want to join any of my programs because you're ready to have a coach and international communication coach to take your skills to the next level, to the end of the video, that means that you get a little bit more understanding now of what is assertiveness and the differences, how to become more assertive. I would love to know more about what do you think on assertiveness as a global speaker when English is your second language. Please let me know in the comments. What is your experience with assertiveness, and are you a people pleaser? Are you, do you struggle a lot with saying no and with being able to teach other people how to treat you? I would love to know even more when English is our second language, because I know we have little references of people like us, global speakers, international communicators working internationally. But I want to tell you, if you're in this channel, you're just part of a community that is keep growing, and we're gonna get the better of this skill all together. I've enjoyed this one on assertive communication. Bye!